Guima made one heck of an entrance in the first K-pop Demon Hunters movie, with dark powers, killer style, and unforgettable scenes. But have you ever thought about what kind of villain could rise in the sequel, and what threats might still be waiting in the shadows? And more than that, could Guima actually come back? Saja Girl. One totally chaotic and fun possibility would be the arrival of a brand new girl group ready to challenge the Huntrix for the top spot. Just picture it. If the stadium went wild with the Saja boys, now imagine a K-pop rivalry with Cold War-level drama, covered in glitter. This new girl band wouldn't just show up to sing and dance, they'd bring it all. Beauty, attitude, runway vibes, and probably their own makeup line. Poor Mira better get her battle gear and emotional defenses ready, because just seeing the promo clips from this new group will have her screaming on the inside. And this rivalry could go two different ways. First, maybe Guima gets pumped by all the chaos and decides to roll out version 2.0 of his evil plan, an all-girl demonic band with killer vocals and hidden agendas. Or second, maybe they're just a regular human girl group, completely unaware of the whole supernatural mess, just trying to break into the industry, but accidentally clashing with demon hunters. The fun part? This new conflict could have a whole new vibe. Less sword fights and more battles over fashion, beauty standards, and social media influence. A clash of aesthetics where Instagram likes are just as powerful as a botched demon summoning. Today, we're diving into the possible villains of K-pop, Demon Hunters 2. Stick with us for another epic video. Revenge! At the end of the first movie, no romance, no fairy tale ending, but hey, as the saying goes, idols never die, they just go on hiatus. And that's exactly what's happening. Baby Saja and romance crawl back from the void, totally fueled by revenge. Not just for their defeated friends, but also for their K-pop careers that were just about to take off. They had dreams, photo shoots, choreography plans, and all of it was blown up by the Huntrix. Unfair? In their eyes? Absolutely. Remember the doctor's office scene? That's when we first saw how frustrated they were with their failed old band. Now, after tasting success and being slammed back into the underworld, they're burning with rage. And their plan? Form a brand new evil K-pop band. Dark aesthetics, catchy hooks, and revenge vibes cranked up to 100 with auto-tune. This new group won't just sing, they'll make the Huntrix lives a living hell. And of course, Mira won't be thrilled. She couldn't stand the Saja boys when they were just acting cute. Imagine them now in black leather and with demonic powers. To make things worse, they secretly start trying to bring their sealed-up crew back to life, including that giant villain everyone swore was gone for good. Spoiler alert, he's not. The stage is set, literally. The performances will be lit, like fire hazard lit. The vocals will cast spells, and the fandoms will totally melt down. Because in K-pop, Demon Hunters 2, the fight isn't just against evil, it's against jealousy, drama, and a resurrected boy band that refuses to accept they flopped. Guima in disguise. Okay, now hold on. What if the new villain isn't so new after all? Imagine this. Guima, the classic underworld boss-style villain, comes back completely rebranded. New look, sleek suit, Italian blazer. No glowing eyes, no spooky cape, just a human version. Disguised as a sharp K-pop executive with dangerously generic motivational quotes. His new identity? A smooth-talking producer who claims he wants to work with the Huntrix. But behind all the contracts and choreography lies a way darker plan, to sabotage the girls from the inside out, all while smiling and flashing spreadsheets. But wait, there's more. There's this wild fan theory that hardcore stans love. What if Guima is actually Roomie's dad? Think about it. There's always been some mystery around Roomie's father. Why has he never appeared? Why has Guima never shown his human form? What if, just what if, he and Roomie's mom had a real connection, way back in some dark past, and Roomie is literally the child of a forbidden love between good and evil? Now, picture the sequel revealing that this new slick producer is actually Guima, flesh, blood, and Excel files. Roomie finds out her arch-nemesis might be her own father. And worse, he's been manipulating her group from behind the scenes the whole time. talk about drama, it's betrayal. It's a K-drama finale with glitter and demons. This new angle opens the door to deeper themes: identity, legacy, emotional manipulation, all while the girls still have to perform live in matching outfits. Because being a demon hunter is one thing, doing it in sync is a whole other level. Before we keep digging into the future villains of K-pop, Demon Hunters 2, drop a comment below saying evil. Hunters from the past. In the K-pop Demon Hunters universe, it was revealed that every decade, 3 new warriors are chosen to protect the Moon and battle demons. Sounds like a pretty organized system, right? But here's something eerie. No one ever says what happens to the former hunters. Where are the veterans? The ones who made it out alive but can't drop into a split or swing a sword at the same time anymore? Gone, ignored, forgotten, like a challenge video after 24 hours on social media. Even the legendary Seline, one of the most respected hunters ever, retired quietly, like she just faded into urban legend. But what if not all of them accepted that fate with grace and gratitude? Now picture this: a former demon hunter, cast aside and rejected by the system, holding on to years of resentment, and a playlist full of sad bangers from the early 2000s. She watched everything that happened to Roomie, the chaos that her relationship with Ginu brought to the Huntrick, and she thought, here's my chance. Driven by bitterness and maybe a little dark eyeliner, she decides to turn against the Hunters, revealing secrets from the past that nobody ever wanted to remember. And here's the spicy part. She might even team up with someone very close to the Huntricks, someone nobody suspects, someone who's always been there, maybe a mentor, a friend, or someone with more to gain from the group's collapse than from their victory. This veteran hunter isn't just a villain. She's a woman with history, with scars, and with plenty of free time to plan an epic revenge. She knows the rules, she trained in the game, and now she's here to change the pieces on the board. Roomie's mom and dad. One little detail that totally slipped under the radar in the first movie. Where are Roomie's parents? They never showed up, never got clearly mentioned, just radio silence. But what if they showed up now, as villains? Picture this. A dark, powerful couple appears, wrapped in shadow and giving off such heavy energy that even Guima starts sweating. They're Roomie's parents, coming down from the beyond. Not just back from the dead, but descending from the other side, fueled by revenge. Why? A buried past, an unforgiven betrayal, and the bitter feeling of being left behind, even by their own daughter. Then the big reveal starts. How did they die? What pushed them to the other side? And most importantly, why are they back now? The truth might be way darker than any demonic summoning we've seen so far. Roomie's father, once a total mystery, now reveals his true nature. A high-ranking demon, even more powerful than Guima, who hadn't shown himself before because he was gaining strength in the shadows, or maybe just waiting for the perfect moment to return. Roomie's mom, on the other hand, brings her own intense drama. Unlike the dad, she's not here for pure evil, but for obsessive love. Picture a supernatural Harley Quinn, loyal to the dark side not because she wants to destroy the world, but because she's blinded by passion. This couple could become the emotional and explosive core of the second, or even third, film. Daughter versus parents, blood versus destiny, love versus duty. And the wildest part? The reveal that all of this started because of Roomie, that she, somehow, was the trigger for a prophecy, a rupture between worlds, or even a long-forgotten family betrayal. Ginu. As we saw at the end of K-pop Warriors, Ginu had a totally soap opera-worthy moment. He sacrificed his soul to save Roomie. Noble, romantic, and kind of crazy. But technically, he wasn't destroyed. His soul is still out there, floating between worlds like someone who forgot where they parked their body. And here's where the chaos kicks in. Imagine Guima bringing Ginu back, but with a catch. He returns to life, but not as his old self. Now he's basically a walking demonic chalice, a hot guy with a dark agenda. The plan? Use Roomie's emotional connection to him to shake up the Huntricks from the inside. But it doesn't stop there. Ginu doesn't just come back to mess with Roomie, he starts getting close to the other Huntricks too. Seline. What if the real villain had been standing next to the Huntricks all along? Since the very first film, Seline has been the quiet mentor, the wise, slightly mysterious guide. But what if it was all just an act? What if behind those intense glances and vague advice, she's been hiding deep wounds, dark secrets, and a thirst for revenge she never got to fulfill? The truth starts coming out when we learn that Seline didn't save Rumi out of kindness. She did it out of guilt. Years ago, Rumi's mother, Seline's best friend, or maybe something more, made a catastrophic mistake, a pact, a betrayal, something that left marks on Seline not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. Her guilt was so heavy, she walked away from her own life, abandoned her dreams, her desires, and took on the burden of raising someone else's daughter. But what if, deep down, that wasn't forgiveness? What if, all this time she's been holding on to resentment, just waiting for the right moment? Now, in K-pop, Demon Hunters 2, Seline reveals her true self. She's always had a link to the underworld, maybe by birth, maybe by emotional contamination. And finally, she stops pretending. She appears before the Huntrix in a powerful, elegant, demonic form, dark, fierce, and full of suppressed pain. She doesn't just want revenge, she wants justice, her way. She wants Rumi to watch the world crumble, just like she watched hers fall apart. And even more than that, she wants to take the place of Rumi's mother, not as a mother figure, but as the final rival. New character. The directors knew that K-pop, Demon Hunters 2, needed a villain big enough to match the chaos that was coming. He had his moment. Demon Seline? Massive twist. But what if the next villain is even more dangerous, with powers no one understands, and a past that hits the hunters right where it hurts? We're talking about a brand new character stepping out of the shadows, not just some typical hellspawn, but someone from the family, a forgotten relative erased from the history books, emerging with dark energy, venomous sarcasm, and one clear goal: to destroy everything the sisters have built. Maybe it's a half-brother, the product of a secret relationship between Rumi's mom and some underworld creature. Or maybe a banished uncle, once a master of forbidden arts, sealed away for being a threat to the entire bloodline of hunters. And now he's back, with one purpose: to prove his bloodline should have been the one on the throne. This villain is powerful, strategic, charismatic, and absolutely unpredictable. His powers are brand new, off the radar of the Hunter Council. Seja boys. Once you've stepped into the world of K-pop, Demon Hunters 2, you know nothing is ever what it seems. Not even death. So, what if the Seja boys come back? But this time with a much darker twist. There's nothing stopping them from returning from the beyond, resurrected by that mysterious boss who lives for plot twists, claiming they've changed, or that they've been freed from the evil influence. And boom, they rise from the ashes with sweet boy faces and self-help speeches, getting close to the hunters with that trust me bestie vibe. At least Ginu already earned a trust badge. Now the Seja boys' strategy is to go for the emotional angle. Remember how Guima pulled on Rumi's heartstrings, throwing all her emotional scars out in the open like it was some kind of supernatural confessional? This time around, they could use the same tactic, with a new flavor. They'll act like good guys, put on their sad puppy eyes, but in reality, they're Guima's double agents. Yup, major plot twist coming in 3, 2, 1. With so many twists, unexpected betrayals, family reveals, and villains growing stronger with every step, K-pop. Demon Hunters 2 is gearing up to take drama, action, and emotional chaos to a whole new level. And if you're into animated worlds, we've got 2 awesome videos that you're definitely going to love watching. A thanks for sticking with us, and see you next time.